Hello. What's up, Sparks? My name is Chris. Welcome back to another episode of Sparkplug TV. So this is like my fourth or my fifth video, and obviously I've been looking at the analytics of the videos, and I noticed that a lot of people click off after about 30 seconds. So in a ploy to keep your attention, I'm gonna go ahead and do the 0 to 60 test before I start today's review. Enjoy. One time I had a customer at the job that I work at. I delivered a Nissan Leaf to her and she said, "Oh, I can't wait to see the cheek sagging acceleration of an electric vehicle." And I said, "Ma'am, this is a Nissan Leaf, not a Tesla." And she said, "Oh." Anyways, here we go. 0 to 60 acceleration test in 3, 2, 1. Oh! That actually genuinely scared me. I couldn't even imagine what the Plaid is like. Oh my god. Oh, what the f***? Yeah, I really was not expecting that at all, as you can tell. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and smash that bell icon so you get updates every time I upload a video. Still don't have a scheduled time that I'll be releasing videos, but I'll do what I can. So released in 2020, the Tesla Model Y is a compact crossover electric SUV, or CCE SUV, or CCEV. It's an SUV, and it's electric. Dual motor all-wheel drive for both the long range and the performance model, meaning that there is a motor directly on the front axle, a motor directly on the rear axle, and the battery directly in the center. Speaking of the battery is a 75 kilowatt hour, 350 volt lithium ion battery that are both used for the performance and the long range model. The difference between last year's battery and this year's is that this year's battery's got 4,600 cells as opposed to last year's 2,100 cells, which will increase the range by 54%. On full charge, the long range Tesla Model Y will get 326 miles, and the performance only gets about 303 miles. The performance Model Y has 456 horsepower and 497 pound-feet of torque. The long range 0 to 60 is about 4.8 seconds, and the performance model is 3.5 seconds. Not nearly as fast as the Tesla Model S Plaid, which I'm dying to review, which is like 1.4 seconds, which is crazy. 3.5 seconds for a compact crossover SUV is huge. According to Motor Trend, it's on par with high-performance SUVs like the BMW X3 M Competition Pack. The 2021 Tesla Model Y has 6 ultrasonic sensors on the front bumper. There are 2 cameras in the B-pillar, 2 on the side fenders, 3 up top, and 1 in the back, including the other 6 ultrasonic sensors. The 2020 model had a radar sensor up front. They've since gotten rid of the radar sensor. Musk believes that you only need the cameras and the ultrasonic sensors for full autonomous driving, but we're still at around level 2 and 3 autonomy driving, so even though he said that there's gonna be level 5 autonomy driving by the end of the year, I don't really know. Don't keep your hopes up. Seeing that there is no engine in the Tesla Model Y, or any of the Teslas for that matter, there is ample amount of room for cargo storage. There is in total 68 cubic feet of cargo storage in the frunk, and in the trunk, if you put the back seats down, then it will equate to 68 cubic feet. The starting MSRP of the Model Y is $53,990. The performance pack, however, starts around $60,990. The paint that comes standard is the white. Any of the other paint colors are $1,000. If you want to use this to tow, it's $1,000 for the tow hitch, and it will tow up to 3,500 pounds. The interior is standard in black, but you can pay $1,000 for the white interior. The Model Y can be a 7-seater. You can opt for the third row. It's $3,000 for the third row, but it is so compact that I don't even think a child could fit back there. I don't know how they think that that is even feasible. This one doesn't have the third row, but I would not even try. If you're gonna get a 7-passenger Tesla, you might as well go up to the Model X. The Model Y Performance Pack does come with 5 upgrades that the long range wouldn't come with. It increases its top speed from 135 miles an hour to 155. It comes with 21-inch Uber turbine wheels as opposed to the 19-inch wheels, performance brakes, and lowered suspension, as well as the aluminum alloy pedals. The only option that I think is a little outrageous, but it's also it makes sense, is the full self-driving capability, which is a $10,000 option. Now, I think a lot of folks think that if you're buying a Tesla, it's gonna automatically drive by itself. Well, that's not true. you have to shell out $10,000 for it. The options that it does come with though is the navigating on autopilot, the auto lane change, the summon feature, the auto park, and the full self-driving computer, as well as the traffic and stoplight control. Now, speaking of the autonomous mode and all that stuff, and I was talking about the levels of autonomy earlier, level 0 autonomy is no assistance from the vehicle whatsoever, and level 5 is full autonomous driving. A lot of people think that the Tesla is now fully autonomous and that you can take it out and not have to worry about it whatsoever. It still gives you messages on the screen that say that you have to keep your hands on the wheel while driving, and it will beep at you until you do so. I'm just here to forewarn you that autonomous driving is not a thing. Not yet, anyway. It's cute on the highway and you have to pay attention for the most part. It will get off the exit for you and it will change lanes for you, but you have to pay attention. I did read that the 2021 and up Model Ys will come with the cameras on the interior that will allow you to not have your hands on the wheel, but I'm not sure if this model has that or not. Design-wise, of course, being that it's an electric vehicle, there is no grille. A lot of resemblance to the Model 3, of course it is modeled after the Model 3, no pun intended. Sometimes when I'm going down the road, I see one of these and I think that it is a Model 3, and then you take a closer look at it's actually Model Y. I've test driven the Model 3, didn't really like it as much, but we'll see what I think about it when I get on the inside of this one. As a lot of car enthusiasts know, a lot of the EV manufacturers try to make them as aerodynamic as possible, and the way that they do that is by cutting it out with the door handles. The way that you open up the door is just by pressing this and pulling on it. Not the most convenient, but you can get used to it. The back design is pretty standard Tesla. It looks like a Tesla. You do have the carbon fiber wing with the performance pack. I do have to give Tesla credit. Thank you for not putting a light bar on this. I'm so sick of the light bars. I mean, of course, it does have the LED quartered kind of rectangle the Model 3 and the Model Y now have. You do, of course, have the automatic lift gate. You have a place to store your wall charger. And if we take a closer look on the inside, there are these two buttons right here that act as a release for the second row. Now they won't automatically come back up, but it does add to the storage capacity of this vehicle. Well, it's pouring down rain outside, so I've had to come into the garage and do the remainder of my review in here. So, let's talk about the interior. This is probably one of the most understated interiors I've ever seen in my entire life. It's almost so understated to the point that it's actually gotten a lot of flack in the car community about it, especially the fact that there's no gauge cluster and there's no speedometer. The central aspect of this entire car is right on this 15-inch touchscreen. Now, this 15-inch touchscreen literally controls every single aspect of this vehicle besides the gear shifter. There are only two buttons on the steering wheel that can function for everything from the AI computer to the mirror adjustment as well as the steering wheel adjustment. It also does the distance between the car in front of you for the cruise control. The only other thing that's up here is there are two charging pads. There's so many Easter eggs with this Tesla Model Y that you would not find on any other car. Dog mode for when, you know, you leave your dog in here, and it gives any lookers on a message stating that, like, don't worry, the dog is safe, you know, inside this car, and you can keep it locked. There's Sentry mode that makes sure that when your car is locked, it's recording 360 views of the vehicle at all times. If you click down 4 times on the gear shifter, it will activate a Rainbow Road, and it'll have the audio from the skit from the famous cowbell skit from SNL, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. Take a look. Other than that, you can also customize the horn to whatever you want. La Cucaracha, the goat, a DJ, the fart, Posh, I can't. Yeah, the Easter eggs are unabounding in this car, for sure. For energy-saving purposes with the climate control, if there's just one person in the vehicle, it will actually turn off the passenger climate zone. The windshield wipers are rain sensing. You can turn them on manually, but if you leave them on auto, it will sense the speed of the rain. For the driving modes, you can change it from, obviously earlier I had it in sport. You can have chill acceleration, you can have comfort steering, standard steering, and sport steering. I don't really like the sport steering. You're really fighting to turn the steering wheel, and I don't really like it. I haven't tried this standard mode. There's really nothing to this car other than the entire glass roof, but that's about it. This car is so understated. I mean, it's like modern minimalism. It's just the wood grain, a little bit of leather here and there, and some silver accents. I mean, and there's like one silver accent. The doors are electronic. You do have to click a button for the electronic door, but there is also a manual release if the vehicle is dead. It will, however, give you a warning on the screen letting you know that it could affect the seal of the vehicle and it might break the glass. Heated front and heated back seats. Even the middle seat is heated, which I think is crazy. And a heated steering wheel to top it off as well. How many times are you gonna have somebody in that middle seat that's gonna need a heated seat for real? You can search the web on here. There's a web browser. And while you're at the supercharger, you can play games at the supercharger. Crazy the amount of stuff that you can do in here. You can connect your phone to the calendar. The car does have its own calendar. And if you have the summon set up and everything else set up on here, you can literally turn your car on. It will link to your calendar. It will know where you need to go and it will turn it on autopilot and help you get there. I mean, you can stand outside of your garage and summon it from outside the garage. The left-hand side of the screen always shows an icon of your exact model of your Tesla Model Y or whatever Tesla that you have. You can open the trunk, close the frunk, turn on the lights, flash the lights. I will say that this Model Y is so much more comfortable than the Model 3. I thought that the Model 3 seats were a bit smaller and I didn't fit in them very well. And I think that this is actually very comfortable for an SUV. I think that the seats are cushy. It's a nice ride. Oh, oh my God. That is so nuts. I could talk all day long about this Tesla. I mean, there's so much controversy over not only just Elon Musk, but also just battery-powered cars in general. I don't mind that there's no gauge cluster directly in front of me. Half the time that I'd be driving this, I'd probably be using the cruise control anyway. I do think this would be a good daily driver, and if half the industry is going to fully electric by 2030 anyways, I mean, we might as well accept the fact that there's nothing we can do. I mean, it's just crazy to think about how 10 years ago, you know, the news media was like laughing at Elon Musk about how he bought Tesla and about how he's trying to make fully electric cars the thing again. And now, you know, their stock prices have soared. Hey, here we go. I really like that it automatically goes onto the hold for you. Going around this corner, here we go, the typical corner that I always go around. Wow. That's surprising. There's not much roll at all, probably because of low center of gravity due to the battery. That's fun. This is fun around corners. Ah! I'm so indifferent! The suspension is a little stiff. I will say that I wish the suspension wasn't as stiff and I wish that you had more control over it. If you have control over the steering and the way that you accelerate, why can't you have control over the softness or the hardness of the suspension? I mean, they need to put an air suspension in this thing. I think my other complaint is the fact that the rear view window is very small. It's almost like Evoque small. Additionally, sometimes if you use the auto steer on 2-lane roads like I'm on right now, sometimes the oncoming traffic confuses the computer and makes it think that there's a car in front of you and will slow down. Maybe it's just good enough for the highway right now. Maybe that's why level 5 autonomy is just not possible right now, because there's still a lot of kinks to work out. I mean, I trust it fully on the highway, but I don't trust it on these back roads like I'm on right now. But it is fun to whip around. I mean, I shouldn't be that shocked with the battery, obviously in low center of gravity and whatnot, but it is still shocking. I've seen some other reviews complain about there's a lot of road noise. There is a decent amount of road noise. You would think with the 2-pane windows, it would dampen it a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Okay, final thoughts. Final thoughts. Well, first of all, I do want to know, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of this battery-powered revolution that cars are going through right now. And let me know what you think. What do I think? I'm glad you asked. I don't know. I would have told you that I didn't want to buy a Model 3. I don't think it's big enough for me. It wasn't fun. I mean, it was fun. It was fine, but it was just like the seats were really uncomfortable, and that was my biggest complaint. This is so much more comfortable, and it's so much fun to drive, and I cannot believe how well it handled around corners. But if I'm spending $70,000 on a car, like I'm gonna want like a Porsche or an Audi or a Mercedes or something that has a little more pedigree. Maybe I'm a snob. I don't know. The ride quality, the suspension is too stiff for me. The noise in the back, it's just I've been in 2 Model Ys so far, and every time I get in one, there's rattling in the back. And if I'm paying $70K plus for a luxury car, like, I don't want to hear any road noise, you know what I mean? So I don't think I would buy this. I mean, it's so much fun, and I hate that I'm saying that I wouldn't want to buy it, but it's just not worth the price tag. I mean, you could find the same amount of fun in any other German gas-powered SUV. Again, I think this looks cool, and I think it's got a lot going for it, but I think it has a lot to work out, you know? I don't know, why do I feel sad? I feel sad. I guess this is my first car review that I've said that I wouldn't buy it, you know? Well, anyways, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that bell icon. Until next time, Sparks. See you later. Hey, Sparks. Thanks for watching today's video. If you want more Sparkplug TV content, click right here. Right here. You got 2 options. Choose one. Or both.